sitting there like, man, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Ask Mathis. I'm your host, Reggie Mathis, and rocking with me is my brother Wild Man Teddy T, aka Baron Theo Mound-builder. What up, bro?
What up?
Chilling, man. So this 27-year-old bro, strolls up in there with the AR or the M, whatever military grade weapon it is, and but for getting on the wrong elevator, because his intent was to shoot up the NFL office. Because it was in that building. It's housed in that building, but he got on the wrong elevator. When he got out, he shot 4 people. When he got off the elevator after shooting the people, he confronted a lady and he let her go. He didn't look at her, do anything, and he left a note, basically saying, he suffered from traumatic brain, CTE, concussions. Y'all remember the Will Smith movie? And to study his brain, what he asked for. But and one of the folks he killed was a New York City police officer, Officer Islam, 37-year-old, 2 kids and 1 on the way. Brother was a 3.5-year veteran working a off-duty job. Crazy, man. The gun was legal. He had a Nevada. He worked at the Horseshoe Casino in Vegas, but he drove cross country to get there and do it. He had his prescription meds in the car with 2 other pieces. Does this change anything? This is the largest mass shooting in New York in 25 years. Does this change anything about anything? He has a history of mental illness. Does this change anything about the narratives? Is this going to change anything about guns? Or
I mean, it's a common incident, and it's what it's looking at. The same thing as far as with the mental health. That keeps coming up, and these guys, how many more do we have to wait? When they decide to that day that they're gonna go, and do this.
It's the largest
in 25 years. 25 years in New York. 4.
That's it.
That makes it a mass shooting.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It makes it a mass shooting.
It's like a weekend in Chicago.
That's why they said New York. New York has, some of the strictest gun laws in the country, but Buddy came with a Nevada gun license, and he drove there. So the only thing, like Teddy said, really the only thing you can really do in that situation is when somebody's under any kind of prescription meds or anything like that, diagnosed with some type of mental illness, you need to go and get their guns. You need to go and check for their guns. Or something needs to be red flag, like you see your boy Morris, the twin basketball player. You see he just got stopped. He's sitting in Broward County Jail right now for writing a bad check in Vegas, and they done flagged. They flagged him because when he and his family flew in from somewhere. And when they came in the airport, like I tell clients, I was like, look, if you got any kind of legal issues going on, bro, do not fly international. Do not fly international, because you're going to have to see them people leaving and you got to see them people coming back. If you fly domestic, there's nothing, other than just going through TSA. But as far as with the warrants and stuff like that, man. So they say, is that what they saying? 250,000. So his twin brother, who I see them on ESPN all the time. They come on ESPN all the time. So he was talking about for that little bit of money, they embarrass you in front of all your $250,000. What you talking about? I'm thinking it was gonna be like a stack, 5, you know what I mean, 5 bands or something like that. The way his brother talking, 250,000, sir.
we have to talk about that. That's a quarter. It's $250,000.
Well, they say thou dost protest too much.
You know what I mean?
250,000, bro. Yeah, you gonna have to sit. You have to sit because it sounds like he basically saying he got that. Okay, but that's the thing, bro. Some folks be serious gamblers. They get into that gambling situation, bro. And I get it, man. It's that adrenaline. It's that adrenaline. Why did they legalize it, bro? In the sense that, the player can control that over under. Like that one guy that they're looking at hard right now. I don't think it's Bill. But something like that. But that guy, I sent you a bunch of stories a week or two ago about him. But with that guy, you have the most impact, bruh, to do the under of yourself. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. They got a video of him. Like the game is over.
And he take the ball and just go down there and score a layup by himself. like everybody looking at him, he on go. But he on go. He on straight go. And like, yo, what was that all about?
Hey,
bruh.
Point spread.
What is that all about, man? And then I guess since we on these sports, man, I guess we gotta, give a shout out to Deion Sanders, man, who just had, according to he and his doctor, successful bladder removal service. Now, this is an interesting take. We, do health events.
Mm-hmm.
And, one of the health events we do when we talk about prostate, we talk about, the colon, and we talk about other stuff, that's very, very pertinent to everyone, but black men in particular, where they recommended that we start getting tested and screened as early as 45. It was 50 and they moved it up to 45. Is that you can, and this was the first time I heard about it. So had I not heard about it, I would have thought like what Deion did was kind of crazy because he was like, he just removed his bladder.
Mm-hmm.
and he good. The cancer's gone. So there was a guy, one of the patients, spoke about having part of his, he had his prostate removed. Like just basically where the cancer was,
Mm-hmm.
they just cut it. He was given that particular option. And he was just like, he seems to be all right. Seems to be fine. They cut it out. So that's an option that people don't really talk about so much. So the fact that Deion exercised that particular option, that certain things, because the cancer, like, rather than go through radiation, rather than go through chemo and all that, because it's gotten so, it's metastasized is what it's called, when it just gets into all of your cells and all you're trying to do is use that radiation to just go in there and just burn it and kill it or whatever. If it's isolated into, one segment, you can go in there and remove and cut it all off and it's gone and, figure it out. Now he got a new bladder. So I had to look that up to see whether or not, because the bladder is close to the penis and, it's like you remove the bladder. It's like, is Deion saying that, he is with Carucci. He is.
Confirming
it. She was there for him. She was there at the surgery.
Chris Brown, old lady.
Yeah, he was. Hey, Deion keep a bad one now, right? Deion keep a bad one.
Too, boy.
Hey,
Well, she ain't young. She 37.
Well, yeah, still.
Dion keep him a bad. 37 is old for Dion.
Yeah,
That's supposed to be his
Don't say his
God
god sister,
Yeah. He's supposed to be
goddaughter.
Yeah.
Okay, well I'll leave it at that. Yeah, we're not gonna get into the gossip. Yeah, we ain't gonna get into the gossip. I'll leave it at that, man. But he says he's going to coach, man. He said he'll be there to coach. This man been going through it, right? He done got some toes amputated. Now he out here with this, man. So being a great athlete, you know, look at Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell can't walk. You know, it's a lot of those guys out there who left it all on the field.
Yeah, that was a time when they played hard and they used a lot of medicine to cover it up. When you watch that movie North Dallas 40, you ever watch that?
Yeah.
You really get to saw, you seen what was really going on and the sacrifice those guys made back then.
For sure, definitely, man. So, man, in Gaza, bruh, we were the only one who had, the only one meaning the United States. We was the only one, man, that was just going to bat against the whole world, bruh, standing up for Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we was just like letting them do whatever. And Trump, basically for 6 months, let Israel do whatever they wanted to do. And, bruh, the public opinion is just, they got those images out there, bruh, seeing them starving babies, man, and then see those folks coming to get the food. So they let the little food in, and then they shooting the people. And now Israel coming out there saying, no, it didn't happen. It didn't happen that way. And then they're coming out there saying that Hamas is the one that's out there shooting, under like a false flag, situation, man. It's crazy. Nobody wants to see starving people when it's over 600 trucks of food that's sitting there. That's sitting there to come in, bro. And
whose side you on, Rick?
What you mean? I'm on the side of the people. I'm on the side of the kids, man. The kids. No. I'm on the side. I'm on the side of the children and the baby, bro. The children and the babies of Palestine, the ones that's there, that's starving. They in the midst of this stuff. Their leadership is crap. They done killed all the senior leaders, bro. So it's this little kids that's running it now. They don't even know how to run it. And so they are pretending as if they have a real opposition, bro. Come on, man. It's just like the same opposition that the United States had in Grenada. What kind of opposition was that?
Zero.
Exactly, man. There's, now, who's to say, a bullet is a bullet, and they still got weapons over there. So, but come on, brother. It's not even a fair fight, man. Israel was able to go and attack Iran. They was able to go and attack Syria. They was able to go and attack all these places at the same time. What does Palestine have? What can Hamas do to Israel? Nothing. They can't do nothing. So Israel is like, okay, you throw a rock at me, I'm gonna bomb your whole apartment complex. Oh, you stab somebody? Okay, I'm gonna bomb your hospital.
I mean, it's genocide. They're actually,
there you go, Teddy.
It's genocide.
Call it what it is.
Over the land.
Call it what it is.
Total land takeover.
And Trump couldn't help himself. He done already said what it is. It's the new, you know what I'm saying? The Trump geezer.
Yeah.
It's not even.
They're not gonna let Dubai just be Dubai. Dubai's come in and made everybody pay attention. So they're gonna go over there, change this land, and now all these different entities are gonna have the same element that they have in Dubai, in these other areas. Because it's a travel tourist area. I mean,
it's beautiful over there, bro. It's beautiful over there.
Right. And people go and spend. I mean, there's guys that spend the 30. How much money it costs? They send their girls over there. Like, that's a part of dating now. You have to send a trick girl to Dubai and get her a butt. You know what I mean? That's what's going on. That's what we're doing.
They getting their butts in
BBL.
What happened to Dr. Miami?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Whoever's, yeah, it's because, you know.
So go all the way to Dubai.
No, you don't have to go to Dubai to
it's
get
12,
it.
13, 14 grand to get to Dubai.
You don't have to go to Dubai to get it, but that's a part of this, you know, the butt. I got to go to Dubai. My hair, nails, the car, like these are this is the dating.
Look,
they paying for.
I've gone to Dubai. I've gone to Dubai probably 4 times. I don't like Dubai, bro.
You don't like to wear the chic.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind any of that stuff. It's just that, you know, bruh, I won a trial years before I went over to Dubai for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And the client rewarded me, gave me a bonus, some Louis Vuitton loafers, right? Nice loafers, man. I probably wore them, you know, for a couple of years before I went to Dubai. So I'm over in Dubai at the mall, and you know, I go in there, and one of the sales associates in Louis Vuitton is like, can I help you? And I basically, you know, I just like step back and like look down at my shoes, like, you see what I got on? You feel, you know what I mean? Like you see. Like,
you see what's up.
You see what I, you know, you see what I got on, bro. Like what you talking about, right? You see the drip, man. They kind of look like,
no, sir. I'm sorry, bro.
like, are you in the right place? Am I in the right place? I said, man, let me see these. Let me see these. Let me see these and what you got or whatever. And they like, those are many seasons ago. those are many seasons ago. Like, you sure, like, we don't have nothing for you. Cause I was there solo.
Right.
You know, cause I'm the type of person, like the group that I was with, you know, that they catering to, they had moved on and gone. I was in there solo. I'm in there shopping myself. I'm feeling like, you know, I can get it myself if that's what we doing. Man, it was just like, these are many seasons ago. We not impressed by, you know, coming in here with these old shoes on.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, it's been over 10 years since that experience, but I'm still holding it like.
I mean, that's like in New York. I mean, the clothes that they have in New York, if you other places, they've been had them in New York already. That's been like that for years. Like, oh, we've been.
Right, even in the mall. Here's the crazy thing about Dubai, and then we can move on. Here's the crazy thing about Dubai. In the mall, they have 2 of the same stores, right? 2 of the same stores that I forget what brand it was. It may have been Dior, or it may have been YSL. It may some high-end brand, bruh. They selling it for like 30% higher at this one particular store than they are at the other store that had the stuff. And then it's not just for that particular brand. It was also for Rolex, like for the watches and stuff. And I was like, man, this don't make no sense. Why won't the people just go from here down there? It's in the same structure, in the same place. Just go over there to do it. There's like, no, you got to have something for the Emirates, and you got to have something for the other people. Yeah. Like the Emirates, the ones that you see, like the Emirates, like you talking about United Arab Emirates, which is the country, was Abu Dhabi, and Dubai. Right. They specifically, bro, they don't want something that anybody can afford. I mean, that's they want something that you can't afford. That's how they roll, bro. It makes no sense to me, right? Just the way you shaking your head, it don't make no sense to you. But in the same place, bro, like it's an insult, a sale sign. You know what I mean? Like the way American shoppers, my mom taught me to shop. The way my mom taught me to shop, she's like, you don't ever go when you need something. You shop all the time. You shop often. And what you do is when you go into the store, you go straight to the clearance rack. Go straight to the clearance rack and get something to add to your, add to your collection from the clearance rack, and then you get it, and then when that season comes, like bam, you already good, you got it. They get you when you gotta go. Like, man, I'm going to a wedding this afternoon, and you up in there, you gotta get something. You getting it off that. But if you have time and you just add to your collection, you go to the clearance rack and you hit them on the clearance rack, bro. You can get some stuff.
You still shop that way now?
I still shop that way. I go to the clearance rack first, and if they don't have what I need or what I'm looking for, then I go to, the next the next thing or whatever. But I still, bro, because you can't get me like that, bro. You can't get me like that, because whatever you get, when it first come out and they put it out there and everybody running to get it, 3, 4, 5, 6 months later, it's gonna be last call. Like even the high end stores, it's gonna be at the outlet. It's gonna be at Marshall's. It's gonna be at Burlington. It's gonna be whatever. And so with me, I rarely get flashy stuff that's, you know what I mean, the right now stuff. I get stuff that, people compliment me on stuff. I say, bro, these 20 years old, these 25 years old, these 30 years old, because I don't wear them every day. They're not like my everyday stuff. You have a collection and you wear it when you own that. And people like, hey, man, what's that or that? I say, man, bro, this 20 years old. This 30 years old. This is old. Them Bucks I was wearing not too long ago, the two-tone like Bucks, those shoes was like 30 years old. Folks was like, man, what's up with them? Where you get them from? And then they had the little, like, bro, people pay for that, man. Like, bro, I tell you, bro, Flo saw my shoes, bro. Flo was like, man, bro, like that. He said with the scuff on it. Then I said, bro, these shoes like 25 years old, bro. I had these probably since college. Probably had them since college, man. But check this out with Rachel, man. And see, I'm feeling 47 right now. I'm feeling 47. 47 got a heart. He's like Pharaoh during the time of Moses. When after all the tragedy and all the stuff that was going on, Moses said, man, let my people go. Let my people go. And he was like, man, they ain't doing nothing. And he was like, okay, boom. It's going to be a plague. The locusts, the frogs, all that. The Jews were able to survive, by putting the blood on the outside of the door. That's what they call Passover, right? They was able to survive it. He was like, man, get them people up out of here. And then, he changed his mind again. Then he killed his son. And his son suffered. So I feel like Trump probably has dreams, man. You know what I mean? Can you imagine the dreams? 2-time assassination attempt, and all this stuff this man out here talking, knowing he don't believe half the stuff he's saying, right? Just knowing he don't even believe half the stuff he's saying, but he know what he got to say to stay in power. He knows what he got to stay in power. They got separatist people in Arkansas right now building a whole like whites only, community, in Arkansas right now. So these are all his people. So he's sitting in there. He's just like, man, look at these kids. Look at these kids. He in the situation room, bro. So, he looking down the satellite images and he's just like, why the babies? Why the babies? So he came out there, man, and he told Netanyahu, bro, like, you wrong. Like, you wrong. Y'all killing the babies. And then Netanyahu come in there, look you straight in the eye and tell you, ain't nobody starving. There ain't nobody starving over here, bro. It's 15 people a day died, kids dying of starvation a day, bro. That's crazy. So I like the fact he said that. I like the fact that, as far as Putin goes, that he's saying that Putin been playing him. Putin is a KGB intelligence agent, bro. He said, I done seen him come, I done seen him go. Remember Bush said, man, I looked in Putin and I looked in his soul, whatever, and Putin played him. He played him like he done played everybody else in there. And you know he got the goods on old boy, because he's like, man, you know what I know, that you know that I know when you came to Moscow for that Miss Universe back in the day and you was in that suite. You know what I mean? And once you found out that Obama was in that suite, then it was not so sweet. And you decided you was going to be R. Kelly with them golden showers. And like, man, oh, you don't know about that? Oh, you saying the Steele dossier is crap. Oh, man. That was the whole thing they talking about with the Christopher Steele dossier. You know, that it was like Hillary Clinton paid for it and the Democrats, you know, party, whatever, went with it. With all the dirt. So anyway, Rachel, man, check it out, man. I just let you see what she got to say. And I'm not a huge fan of Rachel Maddow, but she does do her research. So check out what she got to say.
Report tonight that the White House video of this exchange has also skillfully cut out that question from the Reuters reporter as if it didn't happen. So I'll show you them back to back here. I'll show you the real one first, and then I'll show you what the White House has posted online instead. Here first is the real one.
Options abound, and they all can be found in an appropriate.
Did you want President Trump to win the election, and did you direct any of your officials to help him do that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
That's the real one. Now watch what the White House has posted online instead.
Options abound, and they all can be found in an appropriate legal framework.
And did you direct any of your officials to help him do that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
They just dropped it out. First part of this question, President Putin, did you want President Trump to win the election? They just dropped it.
And that's relevant for this particular reason, man. You know, everybody's on this Epstein thing about like, what is the Epstein situation? But I think the Epstein is going to backfire on the Democrats in particular. I think the Epstein is going to backfire on the Democrats because old girl Maxwell, she about to come out there and say she done named about 100 people, right? They're going to come out there and say, you know, it's Clinton, Obama, George Clooney, and all of, you know, George Soros, everybody on the, you know, on the Republican hit list, you know, was on that plane or on that island and was in there doing the thing. I just saw a clip of Bill Clinton getting a massage by the young lady who is one of the chief witnesses against Epstein, the one that used to work at Mar-a-Lago as a masseuse, and they hired her over to go with Epstein and then to go in there and help groom and recruit, you know, some of the young victims. And so they have, you know, Clinton, they was on a delegation somewhere. Clinton rode on his plane and he was complaining of neck and back pain, and say Maxwell, you know, instructed the girl to go over there and give Clinton a nice massage. Now she came out afterwards and said, you know, he was a complete gentleman, that, you know, he ain't do nothing. He ain't do anything
Wrong. He didn't do anything wrong.
Well,
He put his money on the dresser.
ha,
He went on about his business.
you know, it's funny you say that, Teddy. It's funny you say that, bro. I would go off into a tangent, but I'm not right now on that. Putting that money on the dresser, man. But this thing with Epstein, I feel that it's a trap, because the lawyer who went down to question Maxwell in Tallahassee was the lawyer that represented Trump in his criminal case. He's now the deputy attorney general, right? So he represented Trump in the one that he got convicted on,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in New York. And the lawyer that's representing Maxwell, David Marcus, is like really good friends with old boy. So what do you think the chances are 2 days of talks in Tallahassee? What do you think they're going to produce, Teddy? A pardon?
Could be. I mean, he said, like, you know, when he was talking to the people of France the other day, he was like, I've heard about it. I've seen it on social media. I haven't had any discussion about it yet. I could pardon her.
I could pardon
I
her.
could pardon her.
Right.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. I could pardon her.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean,
knowing that he has the power to pardon,
right.
what do you think she's going to say? She's not going to remember Trump
No.
doing anything wrong.
That's why he said that. I could. So now she knows that. Now she's going to be like, no, Trump, I don't remember.
Nah, he didn't do nothing. He was always a nice guy. He just, never seen him.
I mean,
now, there were times it was considered close friends, best friends.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's 3 explanations as to why, they fell out. So the last explanation, they fell out because Epstein hired people from Mar-a-Lago. And then he did it the first time. He warned them about it, and then he said he did it again. Now, whether it's that masseuse girl, we don't know. But he's saying, like, he hired, somebody like that or whatever. Then another one is saying that he tried to come on to one of his, somebody in this circle. Somebody tried to come on to. Now, now, from what we've heard was documented about 47, how likely is it that he gonna get upset because somebody tried to get some butt?
Yeah,
and he out there talking about knocking down married women, chicks that's in his pageant that he's the owner of, and in his own deposition, there's like, well, your quote saying that, grab him by the, and they let you do it when you're famous. He was like, yeah, they do. If you're a celebrity. And then they asked him the question, do you consider yourself a celebrity? He was like, yeah, I think people would say that. I think people would do that. They would say that. So I don't know, bro. This dude right now is I'm thinking he got the Ric Flair thing, bro. Big time.
That's what I think Democrats don't understand. Like, his base don't care about none of this stuff.
Yeah, it's like Rick, bruh. If you put it in the mentality of Ric Flair, if you ever really saw the rise of Ric Flair, I think you would get it. It's the reason why they didn't want Dusty Rhodes to be the champion. It was like, we want to have Dusty Rhodes always struggling, always, almost there. Because Ric Flair came in there, limousine riding, Rolex wearing, gator boots, the all that stuff coming in there is like, I'm who you want to be. I'm who you want to be. And Trump roll out there with the same mentality. He come with the same mentality, but in reality, where it's just like, man, y'all see me riding around my own plane, bigger than y'all plane, my own helicopters. I got all these things that got my name on it, and I'm rolling around or whatever. And they say, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna come and I'm gonna help y'all because y'all been getting screwed all these years by the deep state. All these folks that's been in office for all these years, all these career bureaucrats, unelected bureaucrats who's just taking your money and doing whatever and helping all these people and doing all this other stuff. You know what? I'm gonna come in here and yeah, I know it'll be easy for me. I could play golf every day. I can have the hottest tail. Around the world. But you know what? I'm gonna get in this bubble for you. I'm gonna do this for you.
That question. So when did Democrats lose
They swag?
who's the title of
Working man.
Yeah, do the title for the working man.
I think around Obama.
Yeah.
I think around Obama, and I think in part it was racial. In part it was racial in that white men were the ones that were felt that they was the ones holding the bag, that they were the ones who, were victimized, that they were victimized, that they were wrong. Everything that they done is wrong, which the truth hurts. You know what I mean? No, I'm just saying the truth hurts. The truth hurts. Like, you want people to come in there and you just want to just be like, well, you know what? We need some reconciliation. Slavery was horrible. When can we get an apology for it? Internment camps for the Japanese, like that was that. Syphilis experiments on black men in Tuskegee. It's hard. All those are facts. All those are facts. And so when you presenting people with the facts or whatever, and then you finally, people are just sitting there and they're taking it, and they were taking it like, I don't want to come across as racist because the law seemed to favor, those people, coming in there. And so I don't want to be, I don't want to be fired from my job. I don't want to be this or whatever. So I'm gonna go along with it. So then you have what's called populists. You have these populists like Trump when he came along and he started saying, you know what are they talking about? They wouldn't want to live anywhere else. This country's great, and it's always been great. But you know why it's not great right now? Because we in here, we're playing the losers. We're winners. We're winners. How about the winners, man? How about saluting the winners? How about the inventors and all the other stuff, and start coming with that stuff like that? And they were saying, and they painted Frank Luntz look him up. Frank Luntz, a pollster, Karl Rove. When you look at the Mount Rushmore of folks who have, really done a great job marketing, in terms of this whole victimization of white men and who they, and what they have been deprived of, and how this new society is depriving them of their rightful place, which anyway, I'm not about to get into that. Just look up the numbers as far as wealth. Look at how, the disproportionate wealth in some communities versus other communities. And when some people get a little bit, that's too much for some. And they just felt like they started labeling the Democrats as elitists. They started basically saying that the Democrats were socialists, communists, elitists who took advantage of black and brown people. That black and brown people were just blindly, following the lead of whatever they were saying, but look at the results. Where they have free reign in the cities. Look at the results. They start coming out there like with the crime. Look what happens when you give a great city like Chicago to the black people. Like you said earlier, Step, that's a weekend. You talking about a mass shooting, 4 people in New York. That's not even a weekend in Chicago. That's a Friday happy hour in Chicago. So they were just, I think, just coming in like that and just saying that, have you been at a place and felt uncomfortable when people were like, let's say they're trying to do these exercises to show empathy towards other people, and like every time somebody says something out of pocket, they have to go get sensitivity training, right? And in the sensitivity training, it's like, you feel me? It's like, what are y'all doing? The pandering is just, and I think the branding and the marketing, and then just missteps by the Democratic leadership, man. You have people who are, ingrained in power just like everybody else. All they do when they get elected is they start making phone calls to fundraise on both sides is what they do.
I kind of disagree with your take when you say that that was the turning point when the Democrats lost the plight of the working man. I attribute it more of a very, very minimal when it comes to racism. I think it's more of a sexist. It's more of a sexual.
Yeah, they took on too much. They took on too much in the tent. That whole thing about the whole thing about the trans and letting the trans folks hijack. Where you talking about going to the bathroom, like nobody with that. No parent is with that, bro.
It was just the money. They took the money.
No parent. No parent is with that. You cannot tell any parent that, oh, it's okay for these boys to go into the bathroom with the girls. No parent with that. So to come in there and then to take it even further, talking about competing with boxing, swimming, track, like, come on, man, that's crazy.
I think the whole system set up with immigration, all these things, because remember the people in Ohio, they said they couldn't get people to come and work there, and they had to bring in Haitians. You know what I'm saying? The element of working class people,
right, in Ohio when they came with the cat stuff,
right. The thing is, for me, there isn't, people don't want to be working class anymore. The evolution of Americans, entrepreneur, once Facebook and all these people came in and just made instant money.
Influencers.
Yeah, these people just came in and made instant money.
Monetization.
Who wants to work a regular job every day? Who wants to be a slave?
It's crazy that you're saying this right now, Teddy, because my daughter, like, we had a conversation this morning at breakfast, and my daughter, who's a sophomore in high school, she's very political, and I just say do your research, because she jump on something and just throw it out there. She's very passionate about stuff, but she's like, tell me, what is it going to look like? The American decline. She's like, the American, the end of America. Like, how when do you see it coming or whatever? And her mom and I, we was just like, we're in it. We're living in it right now. She's like, no, what do you mean? I said, what you're seeing on the everyday basis is we're in it. We're actually in it. And I said it'll probably be 20, 50 years most, but we're in it. Because she's just like, I don't, she's to the extreme. She's like, I don't think we're even going to be known as American anymore. I said, well, first of all, it's the United States. America's a continent. So I got to be, I'm trying not to, bro.
Sometimes
I'm trying, but what this reminds me of, as a historian, look at the fall of Rome. When you look at the fall of the Roman Empire, it is exactly what you're saying. Their version of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, monetization in that era, in that particular period of time, where they had a leisure class, and they basically imported everybody and everything. They had control over the whole world with the superior army. So they would go throughout the world and conquer and bring back the best, whatever it was. Hey, man, these people over here building buildings better than we building. Okay, let's get to bring them back here, and now they're gonna be building. These folks over here, bro, they got the sweetest grapes, than what we got in our venues or whatever. Hey, bring them back. And the ones that know how to do it. And we have these houses and these folks working, and to the point where the barbarians and the Huns came from the north, and was now the British, the French, the Germans. They all ended up coming in who were considered the barbarians, and they took over.
I mean, because if you really look at everything now, like the agricultural age was a working age, the industrial age was a working age. The technical age isn't a working age. The technical age is mental. So now it's come away from the body. I mean, nobody really wants to be physical. That's why
Then why so many people in shape? Right?
no,
I've seen more.
They
I've
wanna be
seen
in
more white men like in shape than I
Mhm.
ever have in my life.
shape. Yeah, because
Like
that's
I
the
don't know
wealth.
if it's just because I'm getting older, and because I always, just we keep it 1,000 on the show, bro. Growing up, I don't care if it's Hulk Hogan, I don't care if it's Lou Ferrigno, I don't care who it was. I always felt like I like my odds against any white man in any situation. That's just the way I was raised. That's the way I grew up. Like if we gotta throw hands, I like my chances. As I'm getting older, bro, and I'm just seeing like I'm not physically able to do everything that I once could, and I'm coming into spaces and I'm like, wow, these like everywhere I went, bro.
Train.
Where I went to this past weekend, Orlando, St. Louis, Kansas City. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at all these buff people, bro. I promise you it wasn't like that 20 years ago.
Everybody's on good eating, vegan. I mean, health is wealth now. That's if I'm able to have good health, I can live longer and be able to do more things. So that's the natural element. Like, ever since I've been running for 5 years in my neighborhood, and the amount of people that have started running and walking in my neighborhood since I've been doing it consistently. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. People's minds are evolving at an element that's even, I think, it's faster than what the government is. With the Democrat Republican whole facade, people are evolving because they're realizing that money is the key to end all the woes.
And also remember, even in the US, there are parties that are no longer here, that were here. The Tories, the Whigs, are no longer.
Those were European.
They're no longer. They're no longer here. Those parties are no longer here.
Because the Europeans got Americanized.
Yeah,
the Whigs, all that stuff.
And you start talking about, what's next. I don't think the Democratic Party is it. I don't know if Elon Musk's new party concept is going to catch. I think he's toxic, so I don't know how many people, are going to follow him because I think he's toxic. But I think, a third party is, I think, is certainly a potential, just because Americans in particular, do not like to be attached to losers. You just don't like losers. You just don't like it. But before we get up out of here, man, so Megan Thee Stallion, she's in the news for good and for bad.
Yes, sir.
So I guess we'll start with the bad, and that is Tory Lanez is headed back to court. He has oral arguments on August 18th regarding his 10-year sentence for shooting Meg Thee Stallion. So shout out to Tory Lanez and his people, to get that argument about the testimony of the bodyguard, which, I think should necessitate a new trial, which might result in a different plea. But then on the flip side of that, Megan is the new couple with Klay Thompson.
Yeah. But they're not new. They've been together for a year now.
It's been a year.
Ever since, that's why he came over there. When he came, that's the reason why he came to God. He's been with her since back then.
Teddy with the breaking news.
He's been with her
Because
since.
it seemed like she just broke up with the other guy. I guess he cheated on her too. But man, to be so young, she got a lot of bodies.
They did a list.
Yeah, that was, bruh, she got a lot of
But
bodies.
think about it, I mean, a black guy, black girl. What's the difference between us? And she's who she is.
What you mean? What's
It's
the
going to be
difference?
the same. They're going to want as many bodies as a guy
Nah,
would.
bro, not at all, man.
Yeah.
No, not at all, man. Look, you doing all that, yeah, bro. You doing all that hunching. You're gonna have crabs. You're gonna have bro. You know she already wearing them tight outfits and all this other stuff. You doing all that hunching, bro. She's gonna be nasty. She gonna be nasty, dog. She gonna be nasty, man.
She ain't doing nothing but following nothing but all the rest of these girls.
Bro, you
Beyonce,
can't do that,
all
man. No, I don't think Beyonce was like that, man. I don't think
In the
Beyonce got all
beginning?
of. No, I don't think she got all that.
God.
Ah, that's Teddy with the Teddy. Now, unless you seen somebody take her by the hand and take her in the room, then I just look at Wyclef. He produced their first Destiny's Child album. He may have taken advantage, as oftentimes producers do. No, I'm just saying, but it's
the late night session.
the late night sessions and whatnot, and the momagers, like, oh no, she'll be okay with them, and but I Megan done lost both her parents, man.
She done had a long list. Money bag.
Oh, I ain't no money bag. When did the money bag happen?
Everybody who she did a song
When
with.
did that happen?
Everybody who she's done a song with, she's had sex with.
Hey,
the baby.
Alleged. You can't say that.
Child, please. She said it.
Nah, man.
She said
Okay,
it.
I heard about Tory. Heard about Tory.
2020. G-Eazy.
I didn't know about Jeezy. Wow.
She's a fun girl.
I mean, she says in her record she likes to have sex. That's
Marty.
that's the
That's
guy.
her boyfriend.
Yeah,
That was her
that was the
boyfriend.
guy. Right, that was
He
the
was
last
the one that
one she
stayed
was
there.
with,
He stayed there the whole time.
and he was the one doing the trial.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, when he learned, because she lied and said she didn't have sex with Tory. Right, and then this soccer dude, I remember the soccer dude. Yeah, she's 24, 25? Yeah, well. Like, I'm going to tell you, is that Buster?
I don't think no, that's different.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you, what I was taught. I was taught that if you are a lock, you're not a very valuable lock if a whole bunch of keys can open you. But if you got a master key and then you can open up a bunch of different locks, that's a valuable key.
Reggie, that's misogynist.
Call it what you want. I said what I was taught. I told you what I was taught. And also, man, when you pouring into someone else, bro, like you sleeping with somebody and you just get up and roll or whatever, man, you taking their energy with you. You taking their energy with you, bro. Like,
Soul tie.
you ever go to like the strip club, man, and the strip club where they, champagne rooming, whatever, and the chicks is coming out or whatever, like there's a smell. There's a smell, bro. And that right there, that ain't no smell I'm interested in, bro. I'm interested in, but I don't know. I mean, Meg Thee Stallion got bread, and I just think you just want to, look out for yourself. I think there's other stuff that you can do other than just do that, but
After
just to
she
sit
turns
there and
30.
had a whole thing and just be like, I'm just bumping and grinding. I don't know. Can we hear that that Kool-Aid man bump and grind? You got that Kool-Aid bumping ground, bro.
I can say one thing about Meg. She hasn't had the stigma of being
loose.
yeah, like
I think she does have that stigma.
put it like this. Put it like this. Sierra got with Russell Wilson, it was an uproar.
What was the
Because-
uproar?
Because
Because of Bow Wow and 50 Cent
in Future.
in Future.
Yeah. You don't hear the same thing about Meg.
But I think that's because Sierra paved that way. I think Sierra's image is totally. But I agree with you. At the time, especially going from Bow Wow to 50 to Future, then to Russell Wilson, I think
See Sierra walk so Megan can run.
yes.
Did you see-
She is the
Sierra
Rosa Parks.
Sierra done went over to Ghana and became a citizen.
That's what's up.
She got her citizenship over the weekend.
That's what's up, man. Good stuff for her. She might be my neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
She may be my neighbor, man. What is that? So shout out. We did our little part. Teddy Bridgewater has been reinstated.
Yes.
Teddy
right.
Bridgewater's been reinstated.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now the team probably go 50. It's probably goes 6-4 this year.
I mean, really, it was a good publicity stunt.
Yeah,
That's what I looked at.
Yeah, I think.
Sounds like.
But they still got my man Calvin Russell Jr. the third, and he's the number one recruit. He's already signed with Syracuse. That's Nevy's son, and Calvin out of Opelika, CJ. So them folks out there rallying. They rallying. Them Bull fans, they don't play about them Bulls.
This year, the alumni parties have been incredible. The schools, they got Miramar this weekend. They have Homestead last weekend. They're adding the artists. Freezy started it with the Carol City. Let's give
Chief Week.
Let's give a Chief Week. Let's give Chief Week.
And I would say it goes back to the first one where that put it on the map for me is when they had the boat.
Mm-hmm.
When they had the Biscayne lady, and they had T-Pain. And T-Pain did probably about 7-8 years ago. They had T-Pain, and T-Pain did the story of Low with Flo right there. And T-Pain and Flo performed Low, bruh. It was off the chain because T-Pain basically, he was like, look, I'm going to tell y'all right now, there's a lot of rumors on, who the record was meant for. Because everybody was like, the record was meant for Nelly. So everybody was like, the record was meant for Nelly. But he was like, man, I was, with Mike Karen, still Flo's A&R today. I was with Mike Karen. And Mike Karen was, I think he wrote Bartender that day. He's like, he had hooks, Bartender, and then the other one was Low, and he sent it out to a lot of people, and he didn't confirm or deny that Nelly was one of the people that it was sent to, but he said he sent it out to a lot of people, and then he pointed to Flo, and he was like, man, but the way he wrote on this track right here, he said he basically put his whole career on that song because he was like, we're going with him as opposed to somebody with a name. Flo did not have a name at the time. His song was, I Don't Want No Cake on My Birthday. That was the song he had. And he was like, we going with right here, bruh. And then to see them perform that song together, they've only performed it once on the BET Awards way back in the day. But they've only performed it once at the BET Awards. It's gone diamond. Over 10 million sold. And on that boat, bruh, and when I tell you, T-Pain is a talented brother, like, it sounds better than the record when they go together because T-Pain can really sing. And he was just like putting in,
harmonies.
I got that video. I got that video. It's like 15 minutes, man, because he does the whole intro, and then they come in there and they do it, and they passing each other the mic, man. It's an epic time. So this dude right here, I would say kudos to him DeAndre Ayton, bro. Because if I'm gonna take you, bro, if I'm gonna take you,
You better believe it.
bro, if I'm gonna take you to the free concert in the park, and I'm gonna pick you up, and I'm gonna get you something from the vending, the concession stands. I'm gonna get you some conch salad. I'm gonna get you a drink and some roasted corn. Them $40 that I put on you, bro.
Oh, yeah.
We go together.
Like that. For the day.
We go together. We go together. So if I'm about to put you on a plane and fly you out, and that's a private right there, I'm gonna put you on a plane and I'm gonna fly you out, and then you like, what you doing? Like, where's my room? Where's my room?
Yeah, but I blame it on him because he's supposed to already done know that that's what
Come
it's
on,
for.
bro. No. What you mean, bro? You the money. You the money.
If you ain't doing nothing.
The money. Because she ain't supposed to go. She ain't supposed to go. My daughters are not going to go. My daughters are not going to go because their dad is going to say, what you think you're going to be doing down there?
Right.
I said, you don't think he's going to expect something. Remember, it's not what you got a right to do, because you got a right to say no at any time. I learned that the hard way. In high school, where they was trying to pin a rape on one of my homeboys because we went to the park with these 3 white girls, in high school, and we split up. Me and one of the homies went with one chick, and then my man was with this one, and apparently her father read her diary and saw like, what was going on, whatever, and for whatever reason she put my name in her diary. Why is that? Why did she put my name? I wasn't even with her, right? So I just get pulled out of class. And it was just like, hey, they're saying that, these folks are with you and these folks. And I was like, look, I was at a whole, it was like, did you hear her say no at any time? Did she say no? I said, no, I never saw. I said she was like really feeling the guy. And I never heard her say no. It was like, you're sure? You sure? They even put so much pressure that they ended up telling my parents. So I remember like meeting with the cops, the detectives at my dad's office with my mom, and me having to, me at the time to like admitting in front of my folks that I was sexually active, which that was not my goal. Definitely was not my goal. I mean, officially, I would say, hearing it from my mouth as a denial. Now I can tell you when my mom cleaned out the Ghost, that was the van that I drove in high school. It's infamous, the Ghost. Boy, my mom like never cleaned the van. Like, why you decide you want to come in the van? Like how your van, the Ghost, bruh. My mom found all kind of empty beer bottles and Mad Dog 2020, which was our drink of choice. That was our liquor. Mad Dog 2020 was our liquor. We wasn't into like rum and cognac or whatever. Mad Dog 2020 was our liquor. And them condoms, man. And I was getting ready to go to school, and I remember this one girl came to give me a present, a going away present. And my mom was like, that's probably one of them pissy tail girls right there. That's probably one of them pissy tail girls right there. But hey, she should have known. She should have known. He should have known. He should have done something with her before he took her. But I think he did what it was. I think he had the resources to be like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna come here, and as soon as I see like, oh, she ain't with it, okay, boom, I'm gone. Like I think all he had to do was make sure the room was paid for and her ticket was paid for. Otherwise, what?
No, he did exactly what he should do.
Yeah.
He did exactly what he's supposed to do. She knew what was up. She went down with the plan, so hey, she got to find her way back.
Nah, see, nah, you can't. Nah. You can't have You got to get her a round trip ticket. He can sue her. He has grounds to sue her. That's sex trafficking. That's attempted. Yeah, she has grounds to sue him. That is attempted sex
That's
trafficking.
what they say Puff Daddy did.
That's what I'm saying.
That is attempted
sex trafficking. That is attempted sex trafficking.
Same thing.
Well, it's prostitution.
Yeah.
It's prostitution. So I think he owed her. I think all he owed her was a round trip ticket, and you can't. He owed her a round trip ticket and her room paid for.
How does if he didn't get there will never be a conversation like
because they may have gone down. They may have gone down there on a jet. They probably went. I'm sure they probably went down there on a charter. And so he owes her a ticket. If not, she can sue him.
What's the logic?
The logic is,
how if I fly you somewhere and you don't give me some? How
but
am I obligated to see you?
Sex is definitely not a part of the consideration. You cannot come in there. You cannot come in there and say that, because first of all, sex outside of marriage is technically illegal. Technically, it's illegal. Like it is in some. Yes. Just like, let me tell you some other stuff that's illegal. Oral sex is illegal in many states. In many states, it is not even legal. It's not enforced, but it's not legal. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why certain things that can come up. Oh, you had sex.
Yeah.
Like when you're common law married, or those common law marriages, you live with a person for 6 months, you automatically have to share. Like she get the apartment.
Okay. So where in this does it put the obligation on him that he's responsible for?
You invited her. Because he invited her. I'm inviting you, because this is what the lawsuit is going to say. You know, he offered me a round trip vacation to whatever island, accommodations, food, travel, sightseeing, and whatnot. And instead, when we got there, he propositioned me, and I said, I don't do that. I'm not that. I don't do those things. And then he said, okay, well, he abandoned me. He abandoned me and left me stranded here without the means to get back. Certainly the way I came, like a $40,000 charter, I certainly didn't have the ability to get back the way I came. I had to, I didn't have the funds. I had to call and ask, and that's on her fault. Like I said, her dad, should have let her know. Like, my girls know, like, there's nothing that a man that's not your husband can do for you that your father cannot do for you, right? You don't need him for anything other than companionship that you want, not and your body. You don't give up your body unless it's what you want, not as a reward for something or to keep this person. Because what you're gonna find out is you being guinea pig, you being experimented on.
So I got a question. Okay, let's take sex out of it. Let's say she did have sex. Didn't, let's take the sex out. So if I offer you a round trip, it's obligated for me to complete that round trip regardless.
Yes. Okay. Absolutely. I remember some artists, man, that I had.
Trip, you can cuss me out, but I gotta get you back.
To that point, that's the point I was about to tell you. I had some artists from another state who came down to Miami, and they hired a guy to drive, serve as security. Came down here, did all the did the rounds, as Teddy would, have him the radio, to this, to that, or whatever. The guy gets drunk. And the group beats the guy up. They beat the guy up, and they don't pay him, and they leave him because they said, he did not perform his job right or whatever. He put them in danger by drinking and driving. They got into it and want to pay. I was like, y'all got to pay him. Y'all got to pay him. The man drove y'all down. He did whatever. Y'all got to pay him. Now, you don't necessarily got to pay him the full amount because he didn't complete the job, because he didn't get y'all back to where it was, and he didn't whatever. And this guy ends up calling the police on them, and it went even worse than that. These guys end up going to jail because they had like contraband, and it was like 5 of them in there, and they sat in jail for like a day and a half in like Central Florida, because this dude. And I was like, man, that's all because y'all beat the man up and y'all left him thinking like that's what the streets say is okay to do, but that ain't what the law is saying. This dude is like, yeah, okay, I got something for y'all. So he called and basically said y'all had something that y'all didn't have, which gave law enforcement the right to grab y'all and whatever and confiscate the vehicle and all this other stuff to get out of that situation. So saying that, you may prevail, like your instincts may say, well, that don't make sense, and you may prevail, but for you to prevail, it's probably going to cost you more money than it would have to just, now I wouldn't have got her a first class ticket. What I would have gotten her is I would have got her the cheapest form. I would have got her the cheapest, bruh. I'm telling you, bro. I would have got the cheapest ticket. I'd have got the cheapest ticket. I'd have gave her like $20 for some food. Get you, I left her a dub. Like I would have made sure she saw me break the 100. I would have made sure she saw me pull out a stack of hundreds, give it to somebody for change, to give her $20 to get back.
Another question. Okay. If he said, hey, let's go on a trip to whatever, and he doesn't mention, I'll get you back. It's implied.
It's implied.
Okay.
It's definitely implied. It's implied that, if a person provides you with a ticket, that ticket is to get you there and to get you back. Now, if he would have said, hey, meet me down there and I'm going to take care of everything, and if it's not written down on paper and you like, well, he said he was going to take care of everything, all I had to do was get here, then he has a stronger argument, which is, I was like, yeah, you get there how you get there, and we're going to meet at the bar, and, we're going to hang out, we're going to pay for drinks, and, because you're on your own dime. She ain't on my dime. So I think you got a stronger argument if you just like, meet me there. Yeah.
That's what's up. You gotta use the right language when you flying up.
Oh man. Absolutely. And you gotta make sure she's not from California. Because California, bro. I'm sitting there like, shoot, man, I can't do it. I can't do it.